Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Brian Corbin, and today I want to talk to you about some common APA mistakes that I see in many students' papers. I promise if you watch this video and take some notes, you too can avoid these mistakes and get better grades on your assignments. One of the biggest mistakes I see is that students do not alphabetize their reference pages. Reference pages in APA style always need to be in alphabetical order. Let me give you an example of a potentially tricky situation. If your reference starts with the number, for example, 5, you would place it on the reference page as though it were spelled out. Thus, it would look like this. So you have your references in alphabetical order, then 5 would come after B in this page, and then Loken would come after that. So that's how you would do a reference page with numbers in titles. The next mistake I often see is students paraphrase and then put the page number or the paragraph number. When you paraphrase, you do not need the page number. You only need the actual author's last name and the year. So it would look like this without the page number. Another mistake I often see is students put in-text citations after periods. That's not correct. They go before periods. So in this situation, educators must recognize that gifted students need to be rewarded with more than just solid grades and decent test scores. That in-text citation is wrong because the in-text citation is after the period. They need to go before the period like this. The next mistake I often see is that students do not put quotes of 40 words or more in block format. If your quote is fewer than 40 words, it belongs in the body of your text. In block quotes, the in-text citations go outside of the periods. Block quotes also do not require quotation marks around them. So a block quote would look like this. Notice here in the middle, there's the beginning introduction paragraph. Here is the block quote. It's single-spaced. It's set off by 5 spaces. And then the in-text citation is after the period. So that's how you do block quotes. Next, I want to talk to you about which words to capitalize on APA reference pages. Most words in APA titles do not need to be capitalized. Only capitalize proper nouns. Notice the difference on these two reference pages that I'm about to show you. The first one is wrong and the second one is correct. But please note that the word that comes right after the colon should be capitalized even if it's not a proper noun. Notice how all these words pretty much are capitalized. The internal communications, away towards. Okay, this is correct, this A, because it's right after the colon. But most of the other words should not be capitalized. Your reference should look like this. See how these words are lowercase and the word after the colon is uppercased? That's how it should look like. So when you write reference pages, please remember this. Next, I want to talk to you about using direct quotes. When you use direct quotes, you have to include the page number. Okay, so this here is wrong because there's not a page number. This next one is correct because there is a page number. If there's no page number, you want to count the paragraphs. So this oftentimes applies to internet sources. No page number, count the paragraphs, and you put the author's last name followed by the year, then the paragraph, and the page number. Also, you only want to quote something if it's particularly interesting or noteworthy. Most of your papers should be full of paraphrases when incorporating outside research. You should not have papers full of quotes. Do not do this. Paraphrase above all else. Here's the 7th mistake that I often see. Students forget to alphabetize their reference pages. Plain and simple, put your reference page in alphabetical order. Next, your reference page should not be titled Works Cited. That's for MLA style. For APA style, it should be titled References, like this below. That's how your reference page should look. Also, you must use hanging indents on your reference pages. This right here is wrong because there's no hanging indents. Notice how the text all touches the 1-inch margins over here. That is totally incorrect. Hanging indents look like this. You have the first line and then the subsequent line with 5 spaces over. That is how you should write your reference pages. You must use hanging indents. Next, you should not have gaps between your paragraphs on your APA documents. So this example here is incorrect because there's a big gap here. That should be removed to look like this. You want to get rid of these gaps between your paragraphs, so make sure your whole entire document is double spaced. Next, in-text citations with no author's name should have an abbreviated title in the in-text citations like this. For example, quotation, pizza lovers unite, comma, quotation mark close, the year 2017. And of course, if there's a direct quote from the internet, then you would have the paragraph number. Also, the corresponding in-text citations must have a reference on the reference page with the title of the article coming first. Do not put the name of the organization in place of the article title. I see this all the time. The title of the article goes first on the APA reference page. Also, all in-text citations must have corresponding references on the reference page. The next mistake I frequently see is that students will sometimes put the year of the publication or the author they're citing at the end of the sentence. That is not correct. It should look like this: Smith 2016, blah, blah, blah. Do not put the year at the end of the sentence. It should go right after the author or authors' names. The next mistake I often see is sometimes students will use the ampersand in place of and on their papers. This is actually correct. So Smith and Jones believed in eating tacos every day for breakfast and thought it was a good thing. Okay, that's correct. You say and in the actual signal phrase. And on the in-text citation, what you do is you use the ampersand here. So the ampersand would not go up here. It goes right here. So these two examples are correct. So you do not use this inside of the sentence, but you use the ampersand in the in-text citation. That's all I have. Those are some of the most common mistakes I see throughout papers, regardless of the modality and the level of the students that I'm working with. But I hope this helps you, and I wish you all the best in mastering APA style. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. Thank you for your time.